keep walking.
The Tuatha lines have broken, and we still live. It looks like fate has a sense of humor. Please, forgive my melancholy. The champion of Melsenshir should be cheered, not subjected to my sorrow. I am Adron Tyr, and I owe you my thanks. Though many have been lost, your courage saved a great many more. I am a warrior, nothing more. I go where I am told. I will spill blood with my company upon the shield wall until either I fall or no enemies remain. I was dead, or I should have been at least, if it were not for a Varani mercenary who threw himself in the fray. He fought like a demon, and I was able to escape. The poor man was not so fortunate, though. I watched the Tuatha cut him off, and then he was gone. It shames me, but I once held such mercenaries in great disdain. But this man, whoever he was a warrior of honor. He was cut off and surrounded by the Tuatha. He is surely dead. However, his body must lie somewhere in Cursewood. It would give me peace to learn of his fate. Farewell.
You! Stop!
Here.
State your business.
Keep your hands off me, fool. I know
You're the one who slew the Baelor. Honor to you, champion. I command the Ariad. We are warrior scouts, the eyes of the Alfar. My men are scouting the Tuatha's retreat, though I fear I may have lost even them to this cursed forest. I have been leading the Ariad for many seasons now. I may not have the flair that some of our other leaders do, but I get the job done. They are overdue. My men are never late. They are either where they are supposed to be, or they are dead. In fact, if you are venturing out into the forest, may I prevail upon you for aid? 3 of my men are missing. If you discover any evidence of what befell them within the Cursewood, let me know. Warrior to warrior, I would be in your debt. And if it would sweeten the pot, there'd be gold for you as well. Later, then.
Ah, you are the one. It is a pleasure to meet the Siegebreaker. Especially here, in a land where pleasure has been all too rare. I am Sidon the Outcast, Prince in exile of the House of Sorrows. I'm here to welcome you to our home. I see the hesitation in your eyes. Although I am Fae of the Winter Court, you and I have a common enemy. I am Sidon the Outcast. Once I was Prince of the House of Sorrows, but my true duties are to the true Court of Winter. The Winter Fae have been disgraced and despoiled by Gadflo and the Tuatha. With your help, I can end their reign. Clearly I'm not Tuatha. I carry a loathing for them that mortals could never understand. I simply approached your lines peacefully and expressed my desire to speak with the Siegebreaker. It seems that even the simplest mortal soldier can recognize an ally against our mutual enemy. Indeed, you accomplished a great feat here. But the Tuatha Deon are far from defeated. Before striking the heart, you must trim the fat and cleave through the bones. If you wish to put an end to Gadflo's reign, meet my brethren and me at Foe's Hearth to the east, and we can talk further there. I am Sidon the Outcast. Once I was Prince of the House of Sorrows, but my true duties are to my kind. The Winter Fae have been disgraced and despoiled by Gadflo and his new god. For house and heartbreak, I shall end his reign. Now be careful. These swamps can be treacherous.
A journal? Let me see. This book looks like it might belong to the man who saved my life. He speaks of a brother in a place called the Icebrine Coast. Perhaps when the war is over, I will travel there and tell this man how his brother died. Thank you, champion. This book has brought me some small measure of peace. I did not think fate would let us survive that onslaught. It seems that even if fate is not on our side, you are. She was the greatest among us. What happened out there on the wall? I knew she would redeem herself. Thank Lyria she was here, and that her life was not given in vain. Melsenshir has been my home for 7 years of bitter struggle. As grateful as I am for the strength of its walls, I am eager for a new horizon.
So few of the Winter Court left to stand against the Klurikon.
Hail. What are you doing out here? Did Captain Drafan send you? Tell him I'll be along shortly. I've got some unfinished business brewing here. By unfinished business, I mean Deadeye, Tuatha assassin, responsible for hundreds of Alfar deaths in the war. The two of us just crossed paths here in the wood not half a day past. I hunted the monsters to Shattertear Mines. You're the hero of Mel Senshir, right? Think you can lend a hand? Deadeye's inside. I don't dare to go in alone. Hundreds of my brethren have fallen to that creature. But you killed the Baelor. So I'll stand here and cover the exit with my bow. You can venture into Shattertear and hunt the hunter, so to speak. Leader of the Ariad and my commander. We're scouts who serve the Alfar interests in Klurikon. Drafan's a stickler for the rules, but that's all right. Sometimes rules are useful. Farewell. Hail. Deadeye is finished then. Well done, warrior. Take this gold for your troubles. And now I best return to Captain Drafan. He'll want a full report. I don't remember what I did before the war. That time is all hazy to me now. I've been killing for so long, I wonder if even my family would recognize me. Don't get me wrong. I owe the walls of that fortress. They saved my life a dozen times over, but I'm glad to be out in the world again. It's where I do my best work. Farewell.
Winter is strong in this place. When first the Fae walked into its depths, it bore great fossils, bones of beasts greater and more terrifying than we Fae. But for all their strength, the earth at their feet lasted longer. It sapped their strength, their life, their flesh. Called the House of Sorrows, have built their lives around the Midden. They feed and tend the bodies there, and sanctify the ground with what dead they bring. It is they who preserve the culture of our people, and make this the cradle of winter. For their part, they have been given a beacon, a small sapling of white bark and red leaves, growing from the bodies in the Midden. They call it the Hallowed Tree.
I have waited some time for you to come, Siegebreaker, and it seems that my patience has, at least, been worthwhile. The House of Sorrows has need of your might. Aid us, and you will earn a strong ally in the war against the Tuatha De'On. Like your Alfar allies, we Winterfey suffer under the Tuatha's onslaught. And like the Alfar, we Winterfey need a champion. But it is a difficult position we are in, mortal. The Fae are not like your kind. We have different priorities, different threats. We need someone who understands that. You may call me Bizarrain. I represent one of the great houses of the Winter Court, the House of Sorrows. This war with the Tuatha has worn the house to all but dust. We Fae are ill-equipped to handle such change. But your kind, you mortals, can bear it. It is not a simple task I ask of you. I have only approached you because you show the potential of use. You must still prove your worth. Go to the Midden and find the place called the Proving Halls. This Hearthstone will grant you access. Once you are within the halls, my questions will be answered.
Can't believe we beat you here. Sidon knows some amazing shortcuts through this.
It is agreeable to see you, Siegebreaker. Klurikon can be inhospitable at times, as the Tuatha have learned. We've made sure of it. So I did. We are the Bitter Frost, the last few remnants of free Winter Fae. We have refused to bend knee to Gadflow or his god. Our numbers are few, but we have fought our kin as best we can. The once noble houses of Sorrow, Pride, and Vengeance have all fallen under Gadflow's sway. Until they're freed, the Tuatha's ranks will continue to swell with the faithful. You can't fight a war on your own. And even if you could, you'd find your path barred by the House of Pride, as well as the House of Vengeance. You need a way to strike at their heart. A way to reach Gadflo himself. And we know how you can get there. Blind him. Cut out his tongue. Draw the venom from our land. Only then will we be able to begin to strike at Alabastra. The Tuatha have built Prismere chantries across Klurikon. From here, Gadflo rallies the faithful, preaches the word of Tirnoch, and corrupts our land. Destroy these chantries and disrupt Gadflo's ability to infect its land. Without Gadflo to guide them, the Tuatha in Klurikon will be disorganized and scattered. When this is done, we'll take you to Ventrinio. He can help you breach Alabastra. There are 3 of them, to the south and east. Kill their guards, then smash their crystals and be done with them. Gadflo will try to stop you, but it's just a harmless projection. He can't hurt you. At least, not directly. Yes, I traveled with Agarth back in his prime. But those are stories for another time. I've heard of her, and I've seen her work. A dead diplomat here, a salvaged peace treaty there, a handful of lies told to protect an innocent. But even as a collector of secrets, there's precious little I know about her. Nothing could be more beautiful than a mystery like her. We are the remains of the Winter Fae. Refugees from the capital of Bale. Outcasts from the houses. And those who escaped Prismere Blades. The Tuatha have taken our court and our birthrights. And for that, we will take their lives to restore a balance once again. We have walked these lands for countless ages. Always playing the same roles, always seeing to the proper cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. Now, we face the end of our ways. Not from the mortals, as some had feared, but from our own kind. That little fool used to be nothing more than a capering jester in the Winter Court. But he found the power to rise against the High King and defeat him. It's enough to make you think there's something to his god, Tirnoch. The House of Sorrows is home to the lovelorn, the desperate, and those ravaged by hope. Together, my brethren and I took back what the world had taken from us. Now, the Tuatha have taken our people, our houses, and our self-respect. We grieve at these losses, but we shall take them back by whatever means necessary. The House of Vengeance was a place of fierce honor and stoic determination that made granite seem soft and fickle. But not anymore. When Gadflo rose up, he unleashed their bottled hatred and turned it against the mortals. Now, they're led by a vicious cur, more beast than fae. Home of my heart, and grave of my troubles. This is where the brave and foolish come to die. And in death, they feed the swift and sly. Prismere has always grown in our lands, but only with the surge of magic into our world was it anything other than a simple gem. The Tuatha built chantries of Prismere in the heart of Klurikon. From here, Gadflo watches, and his toxic prayers seep into the heart of every Winter Fae. No Fae can withstand their power up close, and no House of the Winter Court can be free until those abominations are destroyed. When mortals think of Fae, they prefer to think of the Summer Court. And why not? They're radiant and true, even if they are too full of themselves. By all means, pretend all the Fae are like them. You'd never dare go to sleep if you truly understood the rest of us. The Tuatha have corrupted the very soul of the Unseelie, twisting our people, stealing our noble houses, and driving our true leaders into exile. I've tried to get the Unseelie to unite against them. By the time we realized their threat, it was too late. But I'll not give up. No need to be surprised. We know that you seek the corpse collector. Secrets are among our specialties. It wasn't so long ago that you were working with him here. But then, that was a lifetime ago for you, wasn't it? We're only a shadow of what we were before Godflow poisoned our minds. Seems natural for embodiments of decay, doesn't it? But unlike our lighter siblings in the Summer Court, we'll fight to cleanse the Tuatha from our lands, just as any wounded animal would. Go now. Break the tyrant's grip.
Hail! So two are dead, and Herc still lives. That is good news at the least. Though I'll need to have words with him about refusing to check in when he was supposed to. Still, I owe you much. Take this gold in gratitude. Perhaps in the coming days we can work together again. It's been called that ever since they laid the foundations of Melsen Shear. Even the smallest of plants and critters can kill you out here. Later then.
So you have come, whether to aid the house or rain punishment on the Tuatha, I do not know. That you are here is enough. To assuage your confusion, I am Bizarane, king of the house. During your trials, I will observe and communicate to you through this medium. This is about you, of course. You are the only mortal to be given a chance to join the House of Sorrows. But do not think such an offer is given out of honor or respect for you. What drives me to this offer is what brought you here. Necessity. Through the crystal you see before you, it is not magical in and of itself, but a conduit for my own magic. All your actions will be known to me. Every word will be listened to. What you do is of no concern to me. What I hope to evaluate is what you are, to know how you might best help the house. I have locked the way behind you. The way forward is your only path out of these halls. I can tell you no more, other than that I will be watching.
Mortal, the beast will kill me if you do not help. Beast roam these halls, mortal. Once these lands were quiet, gentle. Now they mean to kill all that tread upon it, even the Winter Fae. My people have lived in peace for decades, centuries. But now we're awash in war and corruption, and we cannot stop it. I do not know. The Midden, it has been sullied. We've never feared such assaults until recently. Wait, what was that? It is here!
And so you have completed your first trial. Your actions spoke volumes, but your reactions are just as pertinent. You killed the creature that was chasing that woman. Why? Your crude attempts to elicit answers will not advance you any farther with me. Ahead, you will find a Fae of Sorrows, dying of poison. I hope you display more finesse when dealing with him.
Please, are you the mortal that Bizarrain has brought to aid us? The one he is promised? Thank mercy I have been poisoned. But now that you are here, you can kill me. Please, end my suffering. I do not know. It is some poison. In other times, the Fae would not be vulnerable to this. But we are weaker now. We are prone. I could have walked from this once. But now... Please, mortal. I know it's strange, but the Fae are not like you. Death is different to us. I will rise once more in time, but killing me will let me escape this suffering. I do not know. Everything is blurred. I do not even know where I am. It must have been him. He does whatever he cares with his subordinates. It was Bizarrain. He was meant to save us from the Tuatha, to preserve our oldest traditions, to protect the Winter Fae. You will just let me suffer, cruel.
So, you spared the sword. I wonder, was it some sense of horror that stayed your blade, or something crueler? I lead a court of Winterfell who wish to free these lands from the Tuatha, and we have gone too long without new blood. You have demonstrated substantial worth. One trial remains. You have reached this chamber at last. The time of trial is over. No more apparitions, no more questions. The House of Sorrows has always held a precarious position in this world, and now we hold on to it by the tips of our fingers. You think you have broken the Tuatha's grip on Klurikon. You have not. Even now, the Winter Fae and the House of Sorrows are subject to their malice. Because there are trials that I can observe from afar, and others that I must see at hand. We have reached the trial that I must be present for, if I am to test you truly. What you need to do and why you must do it are two very different matters, mortal. I deal in instructions, not explanations. Nor could you have fought me if you had chosen to do so. What you see before you is but an apparition. Now that your trial has concluded, come with me. The Tuatha have yet to break down our doors, but I would not put that past them. The house is poised to collapse from the Tuatha's dissension and destruction, and I need one to help us. I know it is not the mortal way to test someone in a manner such as this. The beast, the poison, it was all done out of necessity. I did not need you to understand the trial. I only needed it completed. I do not have time for you to meet the struggles of the house unprepared. Some, your reactions were real, but the Fae with whom you interacted, Tybri, Kadarok, and myself, were not. They were but apparitions of the Fae you will come to know in this house. As facsimiles, the apparitions were appropriate enough, but I think you will find their real-world counterparts more complex. Then welcome to our ranks, mortal. The Hearthstone I gave you at the start of the trials will now reflect your affinity with us. Come, join me at the House of Sorrows. I will show you a world stranger than you have ever seen. The Prince of Sorrows once, but now, no longer. He wages a war against the Tuatha with little support but his own strength. Perhaps that is enough for him, but the only thing he will weaken is the house's morale.